Let me get some water, hold up. I brought water this time, guys. I'm playing smarter. The Charlemagne, one of the nicest tier 8 British tanks you can buy, apparently. Now, I've only played about 18 battles in this game, so I'm not very familiar with the tank itself, but I'll be running this through a couple of battles and kind of giving you guys an overview on Armor Inspector and everything I can, just to give you guys, you know, that little bit of knowledge before you guys go into the auction, just in case you guys do want it, because today this Charlemagne is on auction. Now, the starting bid is at 2.5 million credits, which is relatively cheap for a premium tier 8 tank, especially seeing how it's on auction with a camouflage. If you were to sell it, it only gives you 1.6. This, just, you know, keep in mind, this is to sell, not to buy, right? So buying it will always be higher. Just like buying a premium, you only get half of the money you spend back. I'm gonna run through the stats really quickly, just nothing really fancy, but just, you know, the basics. The Charlemagne's sitting at 1800 health points with a main armor of 178 on the turret. The hull is sitting at 110. Now the sides armor is 120 on the turret, and on the sides it's only 70. The rear, on the other hand, is only 80 on the rear and 60 on the very back fit. Chance of fire is 15%, so you pretty much be fine as long as nobody overpens you with a high explosive round. Damage per minute is extremely high for a tier 8 tank, especially as a heavy, with 1800 per minute, nearly 1900. However, the reload time is 12.5 seconds, which is relatively slow for a heavy tank. However, with the damage per minute it has, that's alright. Now, your average penetration for your standard will be 245, premium, which is also a high explosive, will be 171, and your high explosive standard round is going to be at 73 millimeters. Your average damage, on the other hand, will be 390 for armor piercing. Your premium is going to be 470, and if you manage to land your high explosive, it will be 530. Your aiming time is relatively decent with a dispersion of 0.281, and again, your aiming time, I didn't say, but it is at 4.2 seconds. Your average speed will be 35 in forward, and your reverse gear is only 13. Your engine power you are sitting with is 660 horsepower. Sorry, my speaker scared the fuck out of me there, I won't lie. But the best thing to do is just to kind of test the tank out, which we'll be getting to shortly. First, we're going to look at the armor spec on World of Tanks Armor Spectre. The setup I have here for the Charlemagne's armor profile, we're using an IS-3 with armor piercing, which is a tier 8 Russian tank. It's not a premium, it's nothing crazy, it's just a tier tech tree tank. Now, just by looking at it, the turret is pretty decent, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. The frontal cheeks of it is kind of bad, but I don't think anybody's really going to remember that too much when they're going against you, especially if you keep on moving your turret left to right to left to right. However, your cupola is kind of an issue, so I bet if you kind of, you know, put your gun up a little bit just to cover it, you should just be fine. However, the whole armor of it is its weak point. You do not want to be exposing the hull even slightly. However, that being said, if you were to side scrape, they're probably not going to pen that, seeing how there's no overlapping features on the sides at all. So side scraping this tank is going to be an absolute beauty. Now, on the side of the tank, it is absolutely atrocious. You will be penned every shot, even if it is just armor piercing. On the rear, you don't have a chance unless for some reason they try and shoot you in the turret and they hit the sides by accident. If we were to put it back to normal and just look at the calibers you can run, if you run premium, he's going to have no chances penning your armor if you're angling downwards at all. However, if you're on an upslope and you got the high ground, he cannot pen you unless it's in the cheek armor right about here. Now HE, yeah, he's not penning any of that unless he shoots you in the back of the tank, which is right here, with a 93% chance of a shell going through, and in that case, you are pretty much For the game we're going to be looking at, we are on dead rail and up tier. So first thing we do, we go up onto the hill, try to make sure we get as good of an elevation as possible. We get a good shot of the BLITZ cupola and back up. We get shot from the left side. Seems like there might be a tank destroyer in the corner there, so we let our team know. Now, again, as I said, you kind of want to make sure this tank is not having its hull exposed at all to the enemy at any time. And as you can see, I keep on bouncing shells. Now they're shooting the turret, and that is to be given because I'm now bouncing all the shells that they're shooting at me. Now, get another shot with 7.52 right in the side of his turret, and it never bounced from the right side. The 7.52 is being ballsy again, and I'm managing to get shells inside this tank. As I'm looking for another tank, I can't see any, so later on the BZ decides to push back and get another shot into this hole. Now the 704 was shooting at me a lot, so I managed to take him out inside of this to get general. Now, unfortunately for the BZ, he does kind of push stupidly here. He's not really looking where he's going, but we'll deal with him later. Now the VK is pushing in, and I managed to get a shot from this tank while he's not looking. Now it's the BZ's turn. He turns his turret a little too much, and I managed to get a shot off. And just like that, it seems like everybody's clear. I'm waiting for the ROM to push, just so I can make sure I don't get shot up by him. And there he is. I managed to get one more shell into him, and just like that, we pretty much secured the victory. I push in just to see if we can get any more shells, and we do not manage to get any more shells. However, we do win our first game. And just like that, that kind of shows you what you want to do in this tank and how to play it. I'm sorry I couldn't play any more games. My phone has been acting up a little bit. Our first game, we do 3.3k damage, and we run away with the top of our team. Now the real question is this tank worth it or not? In my opinion, I would say it definitely is for what they're asking for, and we currently are able to look at what it is at right now. So the competitive bid has jumped up to 20 million credits. So if you have the credits, and I'm talking like a lot, like 100 million credits, I'm sure you could probably put your credits into this and it'll be a worthwhile expense. However, as somebody that only has 1.7, I cannot purchase this tank again. Luckily, I already do have the tank, and a lot of people seem to really want the tank already with 1.1 thousand participants in the bid. Now, I'm not sure how helpful this video was for you to try and bid on, but I hope it kind of brings some light to the tank before you spend all your credits on it. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe or leave a like, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yo, let me look. Oh my God.